Okay, I got 7 o'clock. This is the Town of Farmington Town Board meeting for August 11th, 2026. First thing on the agenda is pledge of allegiance and native allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our town board meeting on July 28th.
Second.
Nate. Audrey. Comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next thing on the agenda is privilege of the floor. More public concerns. We have no public hearings tonight. Yes. Well,
Okay. I've spoken in the past about a concern I have about the proposed draft of the revisions to section 155. And I'm afraid I haven't explained my concerns properly, so if I may, I'd like to hand out marked up copies of what my concerns are of the draft. Okay. I've highlighted sections.
Perfect. Thank you.
Now, as you can see, it calls for complete elimination of section 155.23 and completely replace the replacement of it. And what I'm concerned about is section 155 3.0 terms. And you'll note that there are definitions there for the terms motor driven recreational vehicle and private neighborhood. And the rest of my concern has to do with section 155-4, I guess you need, on page 5, paragraph B, private property. Nobody shall operate a motor driven recreational vehicle on private property. Note, private property is the term defined in section 155-8.0 in this chapter. And as I said before, the newly replaced section 3 has terms for motor driven recreational vehicle and private neighborhood, which is what's mentioned in the legislative intent 155-2. Prohibiting use of these motor driven recreational vehicles from established private neighborhoods. But there's no definition for private property as called for in paragraph B. So to my mind, it seems to me that if this was taken literally, since there's no definition for private property, this could preclude a person with some acreage from using a golf cart or ATV on his own property. A farmer couldn't use a quad or a side-by-side to inspect his fences with his crop. For that matter, a golf course couldn't use golf carts.
I think that I understand like the single difference in wording from private property to private neighborhood, but I think any reasonable interpretation or like the intent of the law is obviously we establish what private neighborhood is, and that's private areas maintained by an HOA. But I know the one word difference, but then it does reference back to the definition for private neighborhood.
Yeah, no, it's reference, it says private property as defined in 155 3.0.
The only definition in that area, the only definition in that section is for private neighborhood. There is no, it's clear what the intent of that local law is. There's no other reference to private property than that one sign the word property is written.
That's true. That's true. not an attorney, that's my only concern, the rest of this looks wonderful for me.
I don't think we deleted it, but in another part of the same chapter. It references if you're on private property, you gotta have permission from the property owner. Private property. Thank you for your comments.
We've gone through that before, and my concern is that the restriction in the new revised paragraph, rather specifically references a definition. 53.0, 155, 3.0.
All right, thank you. Anybody else tonight, any public concerns or comments?
Yes.
Yes, Al.
Hal Adams, Craig Road. I agree with them. Poorly written and you ought to fix it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it possible to just prove an amended resolution with that one word changed?
How would you want to change it?
Just say private neighborhood instead of private property in that section. We don't have to lay it over again, we could act on it tonight with that one word change. It refers back to private neighborhood, but then it says private property. But then it references the private neighborhood section.
Well, you realize we're not changing all of 155. We're amending it. So I don't have the code book here with me tonight to amend it. My recommendation, as I said at the last meeting, is that this is covered under the check provisions of 155, including these amendments. So we don't regulate private property, telling people that they gotta have permission to write something on their own property, like the gentleman here says. So it's not poorly written, as the other gentleman alluded to.
Yeah, I think that what they're referencing, like you highlighted, is the page 5, section B, it says private property, but then references back to the definition for private neighborhood.
It's up to you.
Just amend that one word.
Yeah, you can amend that one word. Doesn't substantively change the overall intent that you would have to have another public hearing.
Change the one word if they have another.
No,
So if we just can fix that one word, that where it says private property says private neighborhood.
does that make it not?
That's what it's referencing. I think that was the intent. I think it just.
Really, the section, that outlines the intent, the, section 155-2
You
legislative
have the code on that
references
computer.
private neighborhoods.
What
So the intent is pretty clear,
E-code?
but a letter, taken literally the way it's written in restrictions, would not go yet.
I don't think any enforcement would take it literal because we know the intent of the law, but I understand the confusion. That's why I was asking if we're able to just change that one section. It's 155-4B to say private neighborhoods and private property. That's what it's referencing.
What? We're trying to get the chapter 155 up on the computer here. We'll be with you in a minute.
Anybody online for any comments or concerns? All right, let's move on to standing committees reports, and then we'll come back and address this in a minute. Public Works.
Yeah, we met this morning right here in this room at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna start with, water and sewer, I'm not gonna go over everything, but cover some of the main topics. They're still working on screening grit removal from the, influent building. They installed a new auger, they, replaced a leaky tank and a new grit cyclone is now on the classifier and is back on into service. They coordinated with Smith Metals to do some fabrication work on a bar rack, for the south hydrodyne screen. They used a flusher truck to clean the scum off the wet wells. They're still doing some spot testing, for pH in the plant. And they're doing a temporary replacement on the FC1 influent pipe. The ongoing, routine maintenance on all the, pump stations. We got an update on quite a few pump stations, generator replacements and that. Are done last 2 weeks. They did a investigation on a force main leak on Trillium Trail. Not found anything to date. The hydrant, servicing and painting is still being done throughout town. They met with the village of Bloomfield to check out a water fill station. And they investigated an odor complaint, on Stonewood. They're still out doing, meter replacements throughout town. They, repaired a couple of broken curb boxes, one on Vertical Drive and one on Cornfield Circle. They're doing a lot of mowing and stuff around the PRV vaults in the North Water Tank. Pretty much what I can talk about as far as water and sewer. Highway is ongoing equipment maintenance. They're out milling roads, preparation for paving. They've been, paving, the state, Kelsey, Stonefield, and they are working on Collett Road now. Paved roads, repaired driveways, and, newly report covers, minimum, roadside mowing has been going on. Did a culvert replacement at Town Hall, or that's was a discussion, I'm sorry. Parks or, equipment maintenance, mowing and trimming, field lining, cleaning up streets to the trails, cleaning up trash. Buildings, Landry was out to troubleshoot the air handler at the court. They got quotes for internal pipe inspection on the sprinkler system. All that.
Operations.
We have 3 resolutions we can discuss as they come up. The Black Brook, Black Creek drainage study. Applicant requested a meeting with the consultants. They go over some concerns from property owners with the requested access easements, documenting the existing conditions. And the county has scheduled the first steering committee meeting for Wednesday, August 26th at 3:30 p.m. In the county office building conference room. Planning board will have update on the 2 solar projects. Pintail Road, we were waiting on one last document from the attorneys over there that our attorney has requested before we accept dedication. I know we again today asked them for that last piece of paperwork. And Fairdale Meadows, applicant continues to prepare necessary documents so that the code enforcement officer can schedule a pre-construction meeting with staff. Once those documents have been completed and the town has accepted them, they'll schedule a pre-construction. They do plan to start with site improvements this fall, and probably that, I don't know if they're gonna start construction in the winter, but that is for 40 lot single family homes. And the Environmental Conservation Board is meeting August 24th, conference room, and they have started their review on the 2 pending solar projects. And the Zoning Board of Appeals is also meeting August 24th.
Great, thank you. We're going any further, any answers?
Yeah, we found it in the code, changing it to neighborhood makes correct.
Good.
But can we just,
Yeah,
when the resolution comes up, just change that one section where it says property of the neighborhood?
right.
So pass the amended.
Yep.
Version of it.
Thank you. Reports of other town officials, supervisor. One let the town board know, we got a nice memo from the village of Victor to the town board. On behalf of the village of Victor, we'd like to extend a true heartfelt thank you. We experienced a severe weather situation on Saturday, July 18th, and without hesitation, your community and highway superintendent Sean Murphy and Aaron Bissell from Water and Sewer reached out and came to our aid. While our communities generally work together for capital projects, this went above and beyond, and we appreciate that effort. This is a true example of what being a good neighbor is all about. And that was signed by every member of the village board.
Wow.
Kudos to Water and Sewer. Real quick, my report, already mentioned Wood Drive Bridge, we're waiting on one piece of paper legally. The town board will hold a short notice meeting once we get all the documents to approve the road dedication for Intel. And as we previously mentioned, in the meeting, the Wood Drive Bridge itself, the construction is not going to be completed till late summer of next year. Finance, 2027 budget sheets for all departments were due in our office today. Thank you to the department heads. We will start the internal review on our budget sheets, then we'll meet one with the department heads, and then we'll follow by a formal budget review process in September. The Brickyard Road water tank and transmission line is now complete, and we finalized the 20-year bond to pay for that project on July 27th. On Carroll County, no word yet on our application for the sanitary sewer capacity improvement project. This is a $2.15 million project, and we're asking for a maximum of $1 million grant to help pay for that project. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of attending the groundbreaking ceremony, the new culinary arts facility. This is a 19,287 foot square, $24 million state-of-the-art building for the FLCC Culinary Arts Program, New York Kitchen, and the Office of the Cornell Cooperative Extension. And this project is also expected to be completed in late 2027. Tomorrow I have my regular government operations and insurance committee meeting that I chair. And following that is the Ways and Means Committee. That's all I have. We have no highway tonight. Parks, they've been very busy, as mentioned earlier. Town clerk.
So for our July town clerk report, officiated one marriage, we issued 11 marriage licenses. We issued a one-day officiant license, 7 park reservation fees, 5 lodge deposits, 10 lodge fee deposits, a zoning compliance letter, redeemed the chance licenses, that was for the carnival, 24 vital records, 6 hunting and fishing licenses, 168 dog licenses, and we had a donation to the Ontario County Humane Society, which is a new legislation that the state now requires that we put on dog licenses to allow people to give a donation to who we contract with. So it doesn't, it's their money solely, we collect it, and Jane, I guess either quarterly or annually, will send that money to them. And so our fees collected for July were $5,657 on top of the water and sewer payments that we are still collecting. That's that.
Thank you. Water and sewer.
Yeah, we've been coordinating a little bit with the engineer and contractor for the Wood Drive Bridge replacement regarding the details and materials for the water main component of that. New York State Fence was on site this afternoon and has our enter gate working for now. We will need to purchase a new keypad for that. We do have a keypad issue there that cannot be resolved. We'll be hosting Town of Victor Highway briefly tomorrow morning. They saw our skid steer and brush cutter in the Pumpkin Hook Parade, and they want to come over and take a look at it. They're considering purchasing the same models that we have. mentioned water meter replacements, Ron, during your summary of Public Works this morning. This is another last call to residents to please respond to the notices. We're upcoming a shut off for non-response to the notices to replace these meters. It is absolutely necessary that we replace these meters. The ones that we're looking to replace are not functioning, so please respond. Our generator replacement project at the Plaster Mill Pump Station, our largest of the pump stations, is progressing. We're currently working through some issues with getting the exhaust routed, as this is a building mounted engine. Lastly, I just want to congratulate our staff member, Jordan Dutcher, on obtaining his CDLB license. We headed down to DMV tomorrow morning to do his upgrade, and we'll have him in a truck soon. Thank you.
Building and zoning.
So I have some of our numbers from the month of July. We did 214 inspections. We issued 87 building permits, 17 building safety inspections, and we investigated 24 complaints
Things and complaints.
all over the board. Keeps us on our toes.
Ed, any word?
Certainly, first one up for continued public hearings, we have the new energy equity Lindfish project. We look to make a determination on seeker for that one and begin the preliminary site plan special use permit review. We have the Adrian Bellis garage that we're still looking at. We have the North American Sales and Rental on 41, revised preliminary site plan for warehouse, proposed warehouse flex building there. There's some new public hearings. Dimension Energy will begin the seeker there. And then the preliminary site plan special use permit. The Finger Lakes Credit Union on 332 Farm Road, preliminary site plan, look at that one. And then some other board actions. We're gonna do a sketch plan review for Recreation Center at Cobblestone Performing Arts. Put together some recommendations to the town board on local law 4 for accessory structures, and then depending on where we are, we'll look at the proposing an annual report to address the comprehensive plan implementation action. Ought to keep us busy for a little bit.
Sure. Thanks, Ed.
Yep.
Ron, Director of Planning and Development.
Okay, the town ops report was posted today. It's on the website and distributed. The town found out this week that the Department of State did not record local law 2 of 2026. Michelle followed up with them and they told her that they were going to correct it. And as of today, it's not corrected. I would like to not submit local law 3 if you move to approve it tonight until we know local law 2 has finally been registered, because otherwise we run the risk of them coming back and saying that local law 2 is the e-bike regulation. So we'll be monitoring that like carefully.
I know, but we did receive a letter from the state saying that it was filed. It's just not on the website. So we have the letter. So when I called and spoke to someone, they were supposed to yesterday manually put it up on the website. It is not. So today I emailed them, so I have it in writing, and I have not heard back. So we do have a letter saying it's been filed.
Right, yeah. I'm only speaking from experience with them because they did this to us previously. The only other thing that I have out there is the Fish Solar Farm project. The project engineer has written a letter to the town wanting a meeting with the Ag Advisory Committee to start the process for determining a parcel of land suitable for conservation easement as required by town code. And I briefly talked with Hal tonight about that before the meeting. We're going to try to set up a meeting and start that process. That's it.
Thank you. Town engineer, Bill.
Yep, just a few updates here. We're working on the Farmington Grove and Farmbrook Park ADA upgrades. MS4 mapping along with town staff, with the grant that was received for that project. We've showed some options for the Mertensia Park Pavilion, and I think we're ready to move forward with the location there, so. And the water fill station. So, lastly, the town park and Beaver Creek Park, pavement project. So those few things we're working on right now.
We got another road project in
Limestone Lane.
Farnborough
Yep.
for next year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil.
Yep.
The assessor, Donna, it's operated on tomorrow night, so she'll be able to commission her to town hall for a couple of weeks. She thinks she can come back on Monday.
No.
We all told her earlier tonight. Historian, she still has her hours here on Friday. Anybody wants to visit with the historian, it's only noon to 4. And recreation, we'll get a report from our recreation director, that'll wrap up 6 weeks of rec. Report that at a future meeting. Agriculture advisory committee now.
So the stream corridor assessment component of the drainage study is happening this week. They were at my place yesterday measuring the Pike Road Bridge over Black Creek, taking shots of elevations, I guess. What else they done, I don't know. Some of us on the steering committee got kind of an 11th hour request last Thursday while I was out of town. Seeking help with getting more access permissions from landowners. It's hard, we don't have contact information. I did respond to Hydrus, the engineering firm, and kind of said, a couple of these you don't really need to, you can see it from someplace else. I'm gonna reach out. I reached out to one landowner that I think is kind of key, but some people have concerns about inspection of their land, and I guess that's their prerogative. Yeah. So that's but it is ongoing this week, and they only delineated 1 week to do it.
Yeah, I know they had an alternate week, but they were hoping to get it all done in one.
Well, the alternate week was 2 weeks ago, so we're in this, yeah.
Okay.
That's how this thing is rolling.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm gonna talk to Ron tomorrow morning. We'll schedule a meeting to discuss the conservation easement component of the code. Now, this is new ground breaking here. There was no process delineated for that. There's gonna have to be some brainstorming, how we make that happen. It's part of the code, but it's never been implemented.
No, this is the first time.
This is a first timer, so, yeah, but
Yeah.
I can't predict how we're gonna
What could
work
go,
through it.
what could go wrong?
Yeah, there you go. So, and that's all.
Thank you, Al. Looking at finance, communications are on file, reports and minutes are on file. And we go to resolution. First one's resolution authorizing the adoption of local law 3/2026, proposed amendments of chapter 155 of the code, on a Farmington entitled Beautiful Recreation. We'll take a motion in a second, and then we'll discuss the amendment.
Second.
What's my name, second by Matt, right, and then for 155-4B, your amendment will be changing the words private property to
Private neighbor.
private neighbor. Both places in that paragraph.
Yep. There's actually 3 references.
Okay.
3 spots.
Yeah, okay. Yep, all right, so, somebody make a motion on the amendment? My already said, Ron, on the amendment only Any questions, comments there? All in favor of the amendment? Aye. Okay, the amendment passes. Now on the resolution, we have a first and a second. As amended. Any comments, questions? And then a vote as amended for the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Okay. That resolution has passed as amended. Thank you, everyone. Choose resolution authorizing Tracy Curry, court clerk, Earl Davis, court clerk, to attend the NICEMAC New York State NX Annual Conference in the Crown Plaza of Albany, September 27th through September 30th, because not to exceed $821 per person, including registration, lodging, and meals.
Second.
My name, second by, Ryan. Questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Three's a resolution waiving the park reservation fee for the Victor Cub Scout Pack 64 on September 19th for their annual family picnic and kickoff for the scouting year.
So moved.
Motion by Armory, second by Nat. Any questions there? All in favor? Aye. Or is a resolution authorizing acceptance of donations? Motion by Ron, second by Nate. These are the donations that we received from the vendors for our July 3rd fireworks, and the total amount was $268.50. And we just roll that over into cost of next year's fireworks. Question? All in favor?
Aye.
Advisory resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a municipal advisory services letter from Bernard P. Dunnigan for the wastewater treatment plant filtration project.
Second.
Again, when you go through a $10+ million project, it's very expensive. Working with your municipal financial advisor. From the very beginning until that bond is paid off. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. Sixth, resolution authorizing emergency purchase of low lift pump installation of W2 operator training group LLC at cost not to exceed $45,175 plus any additional shipping and handling.
So moved.
Motion by Arnold, second by Nate. Any questions on that emergency purchase? All in favor? Aye. Seven, resolution authorizing the town councilman Aubrey Lambrowitz attend the New York Association of Town 2026 Planning and Zoning School at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa, October 22nd. At cost not to exceed $125 per person. So.
Second.
Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstains.
Eighth, resolution authorizing acceptance of monthly report of the supervisor for July 2026. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. Ninth, resolution waiving the park reservation fee for the Victor Cub Scout Pack that be on September 18th for the recruitment event. Motion by Nate, second. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. And the next one is resolution hiring Peter Lane for the code enforcement position. At $29 an hour. Right. Ron? Okay. Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
11 is resolution resolution adopting final draft local law for dated August 7, 2026, and the proposed amendments to chapter 165, article 2, section 10. Definitions, chapter 165, article 5, section 58. Accessory structures, amending the chapter 165 attachment 1, town Farmington schedule 1, lot area, bulk, and coverage requirements, deleting chapter 165, attachment 3, stormwater management practices acceptable for water quality of the town code, the town of Farmington, and scheduling a public hearing therein for August 25th, 2026, our next town board meeting.
Second.
Names, want to ask me to repeat that? Any questions?
I have a question. Before this next meeting, we in the public can actually see what's proposed.
Yeah, they'll all get posted, probably within a couple days. And then the town clerk will have a copy also. Thanks for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item is abstract 15, to pay the bills, general fund, $107,060.80. Highway fund, $9,628.27. Cranberry Drive Road, $1,102.33. Water tank repair, $14,508.45. Wood Drive Capital Project, $937.73. Sewer District, $321,752.31. Water District, $6,583.79. Payroll deductions, $145.56. For a total abstract to pay the bills, $461,719.24. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Nate. Comments, questions, abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, also we listed the top 3 vendors there, paying the bills, one's for manhole repair, one's the road markings, stripings on the road, and then bond council. Top 3. We do have 3 waivers from the rule. Are there any objections to that? Hearing none, let's do the first one, resolution declaring the RBC huts from water and sewer department as surplus, so they may be sold, disposed of at auction or discarded.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Arby, second by Ron, has been discussed a couple times, and it works. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Second waiver, resolution authorizing a change of hours in the water and sewer department.
Second.
Nay, second by Matt. Favor. Waiver of the rule 3, resolution authorizing the park superintendent to purchase a 9-foot plow for the new 2025 Ford F-550 park truck at a cost not to exceed $5,134. So. Motion made, second, in case everybody questions, what are you getting? 9-foot plow for a little over $5,000. The actual, the truck dealer and the plow people made a mistake. And so our share is 1/3 their mistake. So get a pretty good price on the plow. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you. Anything else we brought before the board tonight before we go into executive session? Anybody online? Need a motion to go into executive session to discuss the medical, financial, credit, and employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a person or name, second by Ryan. All in favor? Aye. All right. And we will not have the resolutions after the executive session. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Appreciate it. And Michelle will let you know when we executive session. Very nice. See y'all.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, we